how much I tell your mama, I tell your papa too. I'm gonna let everyone know about my love, so I really hope you love me too. Yeah, I really hope you love me too. I'm gonna tell you that I need you. I need you every day. You'll get weary of my touch, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I want you. I wanna let you know, oh, you're the only one for me, no one else. I'm gonna shout it out, yeah, up on the mountaintop. I'm gonna let everyone know about my love, so I really hope you love me too. Yeah, I really hope you love me too. Oh, there's something deep inside, yeah, that really makes me wanna speak my mind, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna show you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my lips, and that's how much they wanna kiss you and caress you and love you till my dying day. You're the only one I need, no one else. I tell your friends, I tell your family, I'm gonna let everyone know about my love, so I really hope you love me too. Yeah, I really hope you love me too. Yeah, I really hope you love me too. Yeah.
Oh, gotta turn the mic on. So we're starting this ride a little bit later than usual, about 4 minutes late. You have your 3-minute countdown. We have 2.5 minutes left. And then we're going to get started with our structured ride. Today is called Punctuation Station. We're gonna do tempo efforts with some sprints in between. So get your trainers hooked up, get your water, get your towels, get everything ready. We're gonna get going in about 2.5 minutes. All right, guys, we're gonna start with 3 minutes easy. 3 minutes easy on this ride. Any RPM you want. Make sure it feels easy. 3 minutes. A little bit different than usual. We're gonna have some sprints coming up in the warm-up. So get ready to sprint in the warm-up. You'll get a little bit of a warning, but we're gonna sprint in this warm-up. Today I brought you a cross-country mountain bike race, so we're going to be training to this XC race. All right, so we have 3 minutes easy, followed by a 5-second sprint. Then we're gonna do 3 minutes tempo, followed by a 5-second sprint. Nice and easy. I would say pick an RPM that feels very comfortable. So if you're really comfortable around the 80-85 RPM range, let's sit there. Aren't you tired of the drama? You use your words like they are knives. All right, about 45 seconds left. Get ready for this 5-second sprint coming up.
once I fell, but now I'm strong. I'm ready for the rematch. Shoot me down, don't you know I get up? Yeah, baby, I will fight. No, there.
So this is going to be a seated sprint, and I want it to feel like a 9 out of 10. So you're not sprinting so hard that you start foaming at the mouth, but you're going to go as hard as you can, seated 9 out of 10 with control. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 5-second sprint. Go, 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 go. Pedal, 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 pedal. 3, 2, 1, and we're going to go right back down to an endurance pace, but this time it's going to be tempo. Instead of easy, we're going tempo. So make this feel like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Nice and smooth. Pedal, pedal, pedal. 3 minutes. We're going to cap off this 3-minute tempo the same way with a 5-second sprint. So I went through all the trouble to set up, to have the computer plugged into the Ethernet so we have great signal. And then I started it on Wi-Fi, so it kind of crashed in the beginning, even though I had it all set up. So hopefully we should be smooth rolling from here on out. I say that every week, and every week we end up hitting something. So enjoy this cross-country race. It's always fun to watch these cross-country races. A lot of variety and a lot of mixed surfaces. So super fun if you've never been mountain biking. And if you have, sometimes mountain biking can be dangerous, as Tracy knows. So some people just want to watch the XC videos while they ride their road bike. All right, so we're finishing up our 3 minutes of tempo. We should have just about a minute left or so. We're going to finish that off with a sprint. So in about a minute, we're going to sprint.
Push me, then you pull me back in. Don't know if I can decipher how your mind works. Yeah, you leave me wondering what it's like to feel your skin. I will keep on trying till you give me a sign. Give me a sign. Oh, give me a sign. Baby, give me a sign. Just give me one more. You leave me hanging, begging for more. Think that I'm addicted to this, can't resist to be a little risky and go for it, cause I want you close.
All right, guys, in about 20 seconds, we're going to do that sprint. Same thing again, except this time I would like you to stand up. Stand up doesn't mean go so hard you rip the bike off the trainer. We're going to stand up and do a form sprint, which means you have good form, but you're only giving it about 8 or 9%. Or, I'm sorry, 8 or 9 out of 10, starting in about 6, 5, and about 4, 3, form sprint, standing 2, 1, 8 or 9 out of 10 hard. Let's go, 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 go. Come on. And shut it down. We're going to go right back to endurance, but this time it's going to be spicy. 3 minutes spicy. This is the end of your warm-up. We're looking for threshold plus. So make it burn. 3 minutes, followed by a 3-minute rest.
No more tricks, we could take things slow. Say you think about it too. When the lights go out and there's no doubt that I should be with, that I should be. We've been on and off again and again. I don't know which way we're going, no control. You push me, then you pull me back in. We've been on and off again and again. I don't know which way we're going, no control. You push me, then you pull me back in. So give me a sign. Give me a sign. Oh, baby, just give me a sign. Baby, give me a sign. Just give me one more. Talking to you and here we go again. Staying up all night to see if you've been texting me. Where do we go?
All right, so we're finishing off 3 minutes spicy. You should have just about 1 minute left here. We're looking for something around threshold. So if you're looking at your power, something around threshold, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. If you're just going based on feel, which is sometimes what I suggest, just make it burn. Make it a little bit spicy. All right, now Ben, we're on Ben's camera. He's sitting in 14th place. I don't know how many people were on the start line, but it was probably, it looked like 30, 40. Cool, and this is in California. The P12 field for XC mountain bike, which stands for cross country. All right, guys, in 45 seconds, we're not going to have a sprint. We're not finishing the end of this warm up with a sprint. We're just going to bring it down and recover for 3 minutes.
So confused, oh baby, tasting so sweet, acting so rude. Won't you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. High and low in between.
All right, and you get to recover 3 minutes. 3 minutes recovery. When we come back, we're doing this ride is called Punctuation Station today because we're going to do some tempo efforts and we're going to punctuate it. My little chops. We're going to punctuate it with 5-second sprints. I did this one on the road earlier, earlier today, but earlier in the week to test it out. And I sprinted too hard on all of these sprints. It's really hard to dial it back and do a nice form sprint. I ended up just going hard on all of them and it made it very challenging. So that's your choice. You can bring these up a little bit and go a little harder, but the way it's designed is for us to just do little form sprints. So we're going to do tempo for 8 minutes. 2 minutes on, 5-second sprint. 2 minutes on, 5-second sprint. 2 minutes on, a third 5-second sprint. Finish with 2 minutes on. So 4 2-minute efforts with 5-second rests kind of chopped in between there. And we're just going to do it to this XC course, which is super exciting for me. There might be some times that you are sprinting. Ooh, this gives me butterflies to be racing on the edge of this cliff because I would fall off. There might be times when we're sprinting and the bike is not, where maybe the bike is coasting and we're pedaling. You're not necessarily mimicking what's happening on this mountain bike right now, but you're going to do some efforts while we watch this. Cool. Get ready. We have about 1 minute of rest left.
I'm so thankful for everything that life has been putting me through. Now I get to be with you. I think I'm falling in love with you.
RPM is largely your choice today. Go with something self-selected. I tend to just select somewhere around like 87 for these, 87, 90-ish. So it's going to be pretty much self-selected. I'm going to throw out some suggestions though. So the first one is kind of your choice. Second set, I'll give you some more input on that. I always like how Ben has the dual camera and he switches between the front and the back. It always, for whatever reason, drives me nuts to have split screen where I can see front and back at the same time. It just feels so unnatural. That's not really how riding a bike feels. You're looking forwards or you're looking back over your shoulder. So I like how Ben will, when he puts this footage together, he'll flip the camera front and then periodically flip it back and then flip it front again. Okay. Enough praising Ben for his cinematic skills. We're gonna get going. Tempo, 2 minutes. Let's get going. This should feel like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Maybe it burns a little bit. Maybe not quite, but almost. breathing deeply, feeling sweaty. We're looking at somewhere 88 to 95% of FTP. Kind of sweet spotty tempo. Good, and you're there for another 90 seconds, and then we're going to do a 5-second sprint. Very similar to the warm-up, and that's why I built the warm-up up like that. It's going to mimic similar, it's going to be similar to how we're riding this today. Cool, so 1 more minute here before we do our little 5-second sprint. It's going to be your choice of RPM, your choice of how you sprint, seated, standing, you know, sprinting by putting on a bunch more gear and kind of maintaining your RPM, or sprinting by spinning up those pedals. It's going to be your choice.
On my way home, stumbling on the pavement, yeah. No sleep in my body.
Here's a little bit of, I don't know if I'd call it trivia. Here's a little question. Does anybody know what a good ratio of let's sprint, guys. 5 seconds, your choice. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5-second sprint. Here we go. Sprint, 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 sprint. This should probably feel like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 in terms of sprints. And you bring it right back down to tempo. Right back to tempo. So it's not too hard of a sprint. It should be just enough to double whatever power target you were on, which should not be that hard. So if you were pedaling at 200, we're just looking for like a 400 watt sprint. You're at 300, you go to 600, which in the grand scheme of things is not that hard. Okay, so let's go right back to tempo. Does anyone know what a good ratio is? A good ratio is for inner rim width to tire width. That's our trivia for the day. If anyone can give me the right answer, you'll win a cycling cap. I forgot I have a bunch of those to give out. So, and by a bunch I mean 3. So if anyone can get that ratio correct, let me know. Inner rim width to tire width. And so this is specific for if you're trying to put wide tires, like a 30 mil, 35, 40, 45, trying to put those bigger off-road tires on a narrow rim. What is kind of your minimum width? Is it 1 to 1? Is it 1 to 2? Is it 1 to 3? Yeah. If anyone can tell me that, you guys win. I'll give you till the next. Ooh, I don't want to give you till the next ride. Just Google it. You have until the end of this ride to write it in. So the end of this live ride. If you write it into me, if you text me, Facebook me, or put it in the comments, if you get it right, you'll win. All right, guys. We should still be going tempo. 3, 2, 1. Oh, too soon. 3, 2, 1, and we do a form sprint. Here we go. Form sprint. Just 5 seconds. Start revving it up. 3, 2, 1. Bring it right back down to tempo. All right. Let me move my head out of the way. There we go. So this is our third effort out of 4 in terms of those tempo efforts. So this is going to be our third 2-minute effort, followed by a sprint, and then we'll do our fourth 2-minute effort, not followed by a sprint. Oh, I just saw this. Speaking of falling off the edge of a cross-country course, Tracy said she would fall off too, and I think you have, if I'm not mistaken. All right, guys, we have 1 more minute left on this tempo section. Really check in with how you feel. if you're looking at your power, obviously you're going to keep that power nice and steady. But if you're going based on feel, make sure that you're ticking all the boxes. Am I sweaty? Am I breathing deeply? Do my legs have a slight burn in them? Because if the answer is no, ooh, this makes my stomach turn. If the answer is no, we're going a little too easy. You've dropped off during this set. Chances are you didn't just warm up and feel better now. You've probably dropped off. So we want to make sure we have a nice, even power band throughout this whole effort. So make sure you haven't dropped off. Get ready for your third sprint. Okay, guys, this is form sprint, and it's your choice whether you're seated or standing in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's sprint, 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 sprint. Boom. Shut it down. Take a breath. All right. You are back to tempo for the last time. You have 1 minute and 45 left here. Oh, good. I think we have good video quality, too. So it looks pretty good. Our internet is finally semi-cooperating. So I think we're going to have a good day today, guys, for the first time in 2 to 3 weeks. Now that I've said that, it's going to crash. That's just how it works. So it's been nice seeing you guys, but I guess we're going to call it now. Cool. Nice rear cam. We get to see Ben getting chased down. He's sitting in 18th place right now. 1 more minute of tempo. Don't be afraid to take this tempo or this sweet spot and kind of ramp it up over this last minute. That's okay because you're going to get 4 minutes rest before we do the next set. So if it burns a little bit now and you want to start just ramping it up little by little, this person is from a different category. Good to know because he was in 18th, just got passed, and he is still in 18th. That happens a lot with racing, especially on like a cross-country course where it really breaks apart and you might not see another fellow racer after the start of this race. You'll end up running into people from different fields, either from younger fields or masters fields or different categories. All right. 15 seconds left. Finish nice and strong. 10, 9, 8, all the way. Let's go, 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 go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. 4 minutes rest. During this 4 minutes rest, drink some water. If you have a carb drink and you want a little bit of that, you can take in some fuel. You're not going to need much fuel, but you might want a little bit. Yeah, hydrate, rest, 4 minutes. We'll be back. While we're resting, try not to use Google. What's a good ratio of rim width to tire width? So if you want to put on some kind of off-road cyclocross tires on your road bike, how wide can you go based on how narrow your wheels are? If anyone has an answer, let me know. Make one up. We'll find out. I'll let you guys know by the end of the ride if anyone wins. Gotta unmute that microphone. So we probably have about 90 seconds to our next set, and we'll be coming back. We're gonna do the same thing, but this time I'm gonna dictate a little bit of your form sprints, and I'm gonna dictate a little bit of your RPM. So for your RPM, pick something you didn't do the first time. If you were going 85 the first time, maybe this time you go to 80, maybe you go to 95. Let's pick something between 80 and 105. So don't go higher than 105, don't go lower than 80, but pick something you didn't do the first time. And I'll dictate your form sprints a little bit, whether you're standing or seated or whatever. Aim to double your power. If you're looking at a power meter, aim to double it on those sprints. So if you're holding, 180, you go to 360. I'm just kind of making up numbers here. Aim to double it. It's okay if you're a little bit less, because doubling is probably a little harder than we need to go, but aim for doubling, and if you miss a little bit, you'll be fine. We're starting in 30 seconds. Get ready. Get excited. We're doing 4 of these sets today. This is set number 2. All right. Looking for tempo in 3, 2, 1. Tempo at a different RPM. So if you're looking to slow down, that means you need to shift up a gear or add resistance, whatever it is you're doing, and then match that tempo effort, which means you'll be pedaling slower. If you're on a smart trainer, all you do is you pedal slower and it will catch up to you. But for those of us with resistance, manual resistance, either on the bike or on a trainer, you're going to have to add resistance to slow down. Same thing if you want to pedal at a faster RPM, you're going to have to take some resistance away and pedal faster until you hit that tempo feeling effort, that sweet spot effort. So let's get that dialed in, pick an RPM, and you're going to try and go right back to that same feeling, same RPM, every 2-minute effort for the next 8 minutes or for the next 7 minutes. All right, guys, we should have reconnected. Sorry about that. Just hang tight. We are in our second effort. So we really just missed about a minute there, maybe a minute or 2. I think I kicked the cord out. Either way, it's always something. We're at 25 seconds to go, and we're going to do another form sprint. Good. Be like Ben and take some water on. He just took a sip of water, so you want to make sure that you're hydrating throughout these. Get ready for a 5-second form sprint. This one's going to be seated, since we just came back from internet disaster. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Sitting down form sprint. Pedal, 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 pedal. And take a breath. All right. So we're going to get right back up to tempo. It should feel like a 7 out of 10. Should burn a little bit, breathing deeply. Make sure you get right back to that point. Ooh. Going 41K an hour. Really flying. All right, guys, we should be going tempo. Should feel like a 7 out of 10 or so. Keep it up, keep it up. We're gonna come into our third sprint in about 45 seconds, 50 seconds. This is gonna be another form sprint, and this one's gonna be standing up. So you're gonna stand up for this one. This is gonna be the last sprint for the set. All right, get ready here in 20 seconds. This is going to be a standing up sprint. Keep your arms relaxed. Try and double whatever power you have right now in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Double that power for 5 seconds. Go, 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 go. We're back to tempo. For the next 2 minutes, and for the last time, we're going to go back to tempo, and we're not followed by a sprint this time. All right, finish strong. You have about 90 seconds left.
Aren't you tired of the drama? You use your words like they are knives. I don't need that type of drama. And trying to be tough all the daytime. You try to make yourself feel better by taking me down.
Man, this course gets my heart going. And it's not even as bad as, there are way more technical courses that are on the edge of canyons, but this is a good one with some real dangerous sections. All right, with 30 seconds left, guys. Finish strong, nice tempo. Keep rolling it in, and we want a nice steady RPM all the way through.
Why are you looking at me so cold? One's love is now we're enemies. You try to make yourself feel better by taking me down. Once I fell, but now I'm strong. I'm ready for the rematch.
4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath. All right, 4 minutes to catch your breath. You're gonna take a 4-minute rest. We're gonna come back for our third set. 2-minute efforts, 5-second sprints, 8 minutes total. That's gonna come back in about 3.5 minutes. So hang tight till then. Drink some water, use your towels. Take in some carbohydrates if you need them. Watch a little bit of the race. Get ready to come back.
We've been on and off again and again. I don't know which way we're going, no control. You push me, then you pull me back in. Don't know if I can decipher how your mind works. Yeah, you leave me wondering what it's like to feel your skin. I will keep on trying till you give me a sign. Give me a sign.
All right, guys, we probably have about 2 minutes left to the next set. On this next set, we're gonna go slower on those tempo efforts and our RPMs. We're gonna go 70 to 80, 70 to 82 RPMs. I'll give you a little bit above 80. We're going to go slower. So that means that it's going to feel like more resistance. It's going to feel heavier. It's going to feel like you're going up an incline. We're going to do an 8-minute incline tempo set with 5 seconds of sprint in between.
Give me a sign. Oh, give me a sign. Baby, give me a sign. Just give me one more talking to you. And here we go again. Staying up all night to see if you've been texting me. Where do we go from here? I wanna go all in. So give me a sign. I just wanna let you know I could go for this, no more tricks. We could take things slow. Say you think about it too. When the lights go out and there's no doubt that I should
Oops,
be with.
gotta unmute that mic. We're gonna do slower RPM, 70 to 82 tempo efforts, and then when we form sprint, it's gonna be up to you whether you sit or stand, but I would just leave the resistance where it is and just pedal up from there. So because you have a heavier resistance on the bike, I would just pedal against it. I wouldn't do any shifting for that sprint. All right.
So give me a sign.
We're gonna do
Give me a sign.
8 minutes of tempo starting in 15
Give
seconds.
me a sign. Just give me one more talking to you and here we go again. Staying up all night to see if
Starting
you've been
in
texting me.
7,
Where do we go
6,
from here? I wanna
5,
go all in.
4, 3. Let's get to tempo. Let's find an RPM that's right around 70 to 82 RPMs.
Give me a sign.
Here we go.
Just give me a sign. Baby, give me a sign. Just give me a sign. Just give me a
Good.
sign.
Slower on those RPMs. Every pedal feels a little bit heavier, even though you're coming up with the same amount of power.
We're soaring up high, got no clue. How do I know what I mean to you? Yeah. Say it out loud, spill the truth. Tell me how I'm gonna get close to you. Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside.
45 seconds. Try and settle into that slower RPM tempo. If you're noticing that you're getting faster and faster and faster, add a little bit more resistance to the bike. Maybe you're adding that by shifting up a gear or turning up your resistance on the trainer, whatever you have.
Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language.
All right, here we go. 5 second form sprint. It's your choice whether you sit or stand. I would just leave the gear where it is and sprint against that though. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. 5 seconds. Pedal, 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 pedal. And bring it back down, right back to endurance pace.
Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Dance on the beat. I don't want no excuses. You keep me feeling so clueless. I'd like to dream. Keep on dreaming about us, babe. Hey.
All right, we should be at tempo and we should be between 70 and 82 RPMs. So make sure you have that range set.
Just tryna keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside.
1 minute to your next sprint. It should be slower than usual. It should be heavier than usual, feel heavier than usual. We're aiming between 88 and 95% of FTP, so it's right up there next to your FTP. So it probably burns a little bit, mostly because of that muscular endurance in the legs. You're really wearing away at these legs at a nice, steady, smooth pace.
I'm so thankful for everything that life has been putting me through, 'cause now I get to be with you. I think I'm falling in love with you.
All right, get ready for this form sprint. It's going to be 5 seconds. Your choice, seated or standing. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Go for it. Go, go, go. And bring it right back down to tempo. Tempo pace. This should feel like a 7, maybe even a 7.5 out of 10, because this is our third effort out of 4 big 8-minute sets. We're probably a little more fatigued, and maybe we want to push just a little bit harder. So let's make this feel 7, 7.5 out of 10. Burns. Maybe this is your most, I don't want to say aggressive, but this is the set that burns the most so far. Let's settle into that. Nice slow RPM. Dial it in. This section, I love this section. Giving me a little cyclocross vibes with the barriers. It's almost harder to pick a line when the road is wide open, to pick the perfect line, because there's so many options. It's always easier, well, I don't want to say it's always easier, but there's a lot less options when you start to get some really tight single track stuff. You can only ride where you can ride. So your options are limited, takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, but sometimes when you get these big wide open roads, trying to pick the best line, which could be the best line for you, or it could be the line that's going to be the hardest for someone to pass you on. Picking that best line gets harder and harder as the road gets wider and wider. Get ready for a 5-second sprint, form sprint, starting in 4, 3, 2, 1, and form sprinted. Here we go. All right, bring yourself right back down to regular tempo pace. Should feel 7, 7.5 out of 10. Last night got me wasted. Yeah. Ain't nobody calling my phone up just to make sure. We have 90 seconds left. In these 90 seconds, try and make it feel like 7.5. It should really be hitting that burning range. If it's not burning, chances are we need to ramp it up a little bit. So I might as well sleep with the doors unlocked. Yeah. I might as well sleep with the doors unlocked. We're on an 8, 6, 7, 8% incline. We were. Should match how you feel with those slower RPMs. We're going 70 to 82 RPMs right now for us. Tell me how to be. Ain't nobody calling my phone. All right, guys, you're gonna finish off 30 seconds from now. There is no sprint at the end. Just start winding it up. Maybe that 7.5 turns into an 8 out of 10. Maybe you go a little bit harder, a little bit stronger. Don't wanna be alone anymore, so I might as well sleep with the doors unlocked. 15 seconds left. 10, 9, 8. Finish all the way strong. All the way through, all the way. All right, guys, take a 4-minute rest. During this 4-minute rest, drink some water, use a towel, wipe off your top tube and your headset. You want to make sure that you're not sweating through your bike. A lot of times our face is right over the components that we don't want to get rusty. The top tube itself doesn't really get that rusty, but when it drops down into the drivetrain, the bottom bracket, getting your sweat on the steer tube and the bearings and stuff, it's probably not a big deal, but if it adds up and it accumulates over time, you get a bunch of sweat in there, maybe a little bit of corrosion, or just it gets all seized up and gunky, you want to make sure you're wiping that down, or just putting a towel over it to keep it dry to begin with. So we have about 3.5 or 3 minutes 15 seconds left of rest. We're going to go into our final set of 8. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes with 5-second sprint 3 times. Just chopping it up like a ninja. So we're going to do that in about 3 minutes. Get ready for that. The last set, I'm going to have slight tweaks on your RPMs and on your sprints, but we'll get there when we get there.
Going out of ourselves, can you feel it? Almost like I don't know if it's real, cause when we're doing our thing, we're the wheels that won't stop turning. So take me on a trip, 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 now trip, trip, trip. Oh, flick the switch, kill the lights. Oh, wasted. City lights are shining so bright. All these empty faces, we don't care about them tonight. We're going out of ourselves, can you feel it? Almost like I don't know if it's real, cause when we're doing our thing, we're the wheels that won't stop turning. I know we're acting stupid, being dumb, maybe just a little bit foolish, but I feel so young. Just go a little crazy and lose it. I don't care if we're dumb, it's the only way we know how to do it. Make me feel so young. Oh, 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 oh. So take me on a trip, 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 trip. Oh, flick the switch, kill the lights. I know we're acting stupid, being dumb, maybe just a little bit foolish, but I feel so young. Just go a little.
All right, guys, we have 42 seconds left. Going into our final set. If you look at the course profile down at the bottom, you can see some real climbing coming on. Going up our montañas. 10% right now. Perfect time to jump in is going 10% uphill. All right. So we're going to start tempo, and we're going to start off, we're going to go slow, fast, slow, fast. So we're going to start off with a slow RPM, under 75 RPMs. Anything under 75, take it away. If it were me, I would hit right on 75 because I don't like to go too much slower than that, personally. All right. Get those 75 RPMs dialed in, and it should feel sweet spot, tempo-y. 7.5 out of 10. We're going to make this the strongest set yet, so it burns a little bit more than usual. Ooh. 10% up a hairpin turn. Ooh. Get it. Even though I've seen this video plenty of times, it man, it still gets me. Great point of view here. All right, guys, we're coming into about 50 seconds to our sprint. On this form sprint, you're going to start standing up, and then you're going to sit down. So you're just going to get it up to speed standing up. I would do 4 pedal strokes. That's 2 on the right, 2 on the left. So right, left, and then I would sit down and finish out the rest. Ooh, 7%, which compared to 10% feels light. Seems light, but it actually is still pretty gnarly. So we're gonna do a form sprint standing up in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Right, left. Sit down and finish it out for the next 3, 2, 1, and we're back to tempo. All right, this tempo, guys, we're going above 90 RPM. So we want to be above 90 RPM. Maybe you're 90, 92, 95, 98, whatever. Above 90 RPM, make it feel like tempo. Let's go, tempo, tempo, tempo. Ooh, what are we doing in the middle of this course here? Oh, we got some mechanicals. That's what's going on. Okay. One of the rules of mountain bike racing is you cannot get support. So it's not like a crit where you can just grab a new wheel. You have to fix it yourself. Or you get disqualified. So you can't accept help. You gotta, plug your own tire. You gotta change your own wheels, whatever. Okay. 45 seconds left. We're going to come into our next sprint. We should be above 90 RPMs. Tempo pace. Sweet spot pace. On this form sprint coming up, you're going to do the whole thing standing. Don't sit down for the whole sprint. You're going to stand up. We're going to start off nice and light with that sprint, and it's going to get harder and harder as you get to the end. All right. I would start standing up now in 3, 2, 1, and just start lightly sprinting and make it faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. And we're back to tempo. Good. All right, guys, this tempo is going to be your choice. This is your penultimate tempo effort, your second to last, your choice on RPM. But make sure that this burns no less than 7.5 out of 10, no more than 8.5 out of 10 for effort. We're right up in that sweet spot area, maybe even threshold area if you want to push it a little bit. The reason why it might feel a little harder than usual is not because you're pushing more watts, but because you're towards the end of that workout and it's starting to really wear on those legs. So 7.5 to 8.5 out of 10. We have 70 seconds left before you do your third sprint. Then we'll do a final 2-minute effort, and that's the end of the workout today. All right, before we get into that third sprint, the answer to the ratio question, which nobody had a good guess for. I got a couple of guesses, and they were like 1 to 5 was one of them. It is 2.1 to 2.2-ish. So 1 to 2.1 or 1 to 2.2. So basically double plus a little bit. So if you have, let's just make it an easy number, a 10 millimeter rim, which is going to be way too narrow. No one has that. You would go for like 21 millimeter tire, 22 millimeter tire, right? So you have a 20 mil rim, you would double it up to like, you can go 40s. Okay. Get ready. We're going to do 5-second form sprint. This one's your choice in 3, 2, 1. Form sprint, your choice. And then bring it right back down to tempo. Okay. For this tempo, we're going to start slow and we're going to build it up. So let's start under 70 RPMs. It should match what you're seeing on the screen right now. 10%, 11%, 12%. Mixed surface, so you have to be super smooth. Pedal, pedal, pedal. 13%. All right, we should be pedaling smooth, heavy, and hard. We're under 70 RPMs. Really grinding these gears. It should feel like sweet spot or threshold. Keep going, even though we're going downhill now. We're gonna keep going. Nice and slow. All right, with 70 seconds left, add some resistance, add some gear, add some something, because now we're going, oh, man, I would have shot right off the edge of that cliff. Now we're going between 70 and 85 RPMs. So something between 70 and 85. You're gonna do that for about 30 seconds. Make it feel like sweet spot. Sweet spot is just another name for the top end of tempo. Tempo is a pretty big range. Sweet spot is just the very top of it. And there's usually not much that's sweet about it. You hold it for too long, or you hold it for long enough and it starts to really hit hard. All right, and for our final 30 seconds, don't worry about changing your resistance. Just start pedaling faster and faster and faster and faster. And we're just going to start winding it up little by little. You have 20 seconds left. So now we're moving out of sweet spot and we should be getting to threshold and above, and just finishing off this ride with a nice hard effort. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. I'm not going to call this a form sprint, but if you want to open it up to the last couple seconds and just really give it some effort. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, guys, we made it through. Way less technical problems than we had last time, but still some. I don't know what's going on with the internet. We're working on it little by little. We'll piece it back together again. Chances are I just messed up the settings 2 or 3 weeks ago and haven't yet found the root of that problem, but we're getting there. So at least we had a contiguous ride today. Good work. That was 4 sets, 8 minutes each, punctuated with these little 5-second sprints of sweet spot work. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments. I'm going to leave this up for another 3 minutes with some music playing. Try and listen to the end until the music cuts off, because that's a good amount of time for a minimum cooldown. There is no maximum cooldown. I would say 10 minutes maybe, 10-15 minutes maximum. But minimum 3 minutes, nice and easy. Let it cool down. If you guys have any questions, put it in the comments or message me. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook. Most of you guys already know me personally, so just send me a message. We'll be back next week. I'll try and have an easier trivia so that I can give away some of these caps. So I'll have a trivia next week, and whoever's the first person to get it or the person to get the closest answer will get a cycling cap, because I have a couple of those to give away. All right, guys. Good to see you. Love you. Ride hard. Be safe. Get fast. Get strong. Next time.